enjoyment, camaraderie, laughter, fun, enjoyment, celebrations. This is essentially what it is, celebrating the moment, celebrating 1 year of hard work. It's an evening of elegance. And come on out and be part of this victory dance and celebration. It's a big people style, but young people are also equally invited to it. Only $20, and that's on Friday, the 16th of June at the St. John's Anglican School. So that kicks off the first event, GT, and maybe I'll pause here just in the event you have any comments or you want to clarify anything on that particular
event. There's nothing much to clarify. It's United We Dance, as you said, as you gave a lot of details. It's a big people party, so which means they're inviting everyone to come on out and have a fun time of just and be happy that of course you can celebrate with the party on that night. So that's we of course I think you have clarified enough on that thus far in all information.
Right.
Now after United We Dance, where does the activity lead to next?
Okay, so it would be, the next event would be Wednesday, the 21st of June. There will be a national address at the Trade Center Annex, which starts at 7 p.m. The political leader and Prime Minister will deliver a national address there, reporting on the accomplishments of his transformational government. Mm-hmm. And surely you would hear a lot of what the government has accomplished over this year. I am sure persons may be a little bit surprised as to the long list of accomplishments within just a short space of time. It's amazing what 1 year can do and the number of things you can accomplish in just a short period of 1 year in governance. Just to share just a bit of it, because I don't want to go through the long list of accomplishments.
Yes, I guess you don't want to preempt the Prime Minister that much also.
I don't want to steal his thunder whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But I think it's important that individuals remember just a few snippets. And one that's, stands out to me is the decision taken by government to have a tax amnesty for the people of Grenada. And this involves everybody, individuals, corporations, businesses, you name it. You have a full year tax amnesty. And I know this tax amnesty attempts were made to twist it some time ago to indicate that, this is just for the business people, and this is not for the average man who has to pay house and land taxes. I want to make it abundantly clear. This is for everybody who lives on this little rock. You have a tax amnesty up to December 31st. So if you can't pay all of your taxes, you go into the tax department and you make arrangements. But it must be done before the 31st. So it's not mandatory and it's not compulsory that you pay off all your outstanding taxes. What is important here is that you go in and make arrangements, part payment arrangements with the department in the event you can't pay off. So it is important that is, made absolutely and abundantly clear. The other item that really stood out to me also too is the bi-monthly salaries, and already we are seeing the effects of bi-monthly payments. The economy is showing more buoyancy, more uptick, and this is a good thing for everyone in Grenada. And what it also does, it kind of forces people to start financial planning, to start planning their expenses, which, of course, enriches their acumen and enriches their financial capacity. The other item that really sticks out at me is the recent Creative Unleash program that was held recently. An entire ministry has now been created, and I believe that our creatives in Grenada are loving the opportunity that they can now obtain 100% duty-free concessions on all their paraphernalias, whatever they so wish to import for their trade. And this is something new. It's a new industry. It's a new opportunity, new vision. Is going to really create quite a boost for the creatives in Grenada. And interestingly, we do have a lot of creative people in this country. And that opportunity, that skill set, have been somewhat a bit stifled to some extent over the years. So this is a welcoming new ministry. And Orlando Romain, he has headed this, responsibility, and he has done a wonderful job with his team, of course, with the leadership of the political leader and prime minister and his cabinet in making this a reality. So these are my quick takeaways from the political leader and prime minister's presentation. But I know he would have so much more to share. But I just sort of sharing these two just to remind the general public of the tremendous accomplishments made by this, I would say, quote unquote, so-called young team. They have really shown that they have young spirit, young strength, young tenacity, young ability, and indeed young vision for this transformation process that we are witnessing in Grenada.
All right.
Congratulations and blessings to the team.
So then we move to June the 22nd. I'm seeing the National Democratic, that town hall meeting. Give us a little bit of insight on that and what should we expected from that coming up?
Okay, well, this town hall meeting will take place in Grenville, and that's at the Grenville Secondary School. That's on Thursday the 22nd. That starts at 7 p.m., and that will be an interactive session. And I may also add that the session by the political leader and prime minister on the 21st, Wednesday, that too shall be an interactive session. I don't seem to recall over the many years any prime minister or political leader delivering a speech and subjecting himself to being questioned or comments being made for him to respond. The public will have this opportunity, and this is rare, and this is something that should be embraced by all Grenadians. Take the opportunity to come on down to the Trade Center Annex on Wednesday the 21st, listen to the Prime Minister, political leaders' presentation, and you have an opportunity to, question him. You have an opportunity to comment, and not just Grenadians on the mainland. Folks out in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, they can join the Zoom. Folks out in the diaspora, they can also join the Zoom and file questions or make comments. This is really a transformational aspect of presentations in Grenada. And it will be similar on Thursday the 22nd at the Grenville Secondary School. With that presentation, there'll be, like a town hall session. And again, the public can question and make comments to the presentation by the political leader and other parliamentarians out in Grenville. That's Thursday, the 22nd of June, 7 p.m. at the Grenville Secondary School. Massive town hall session.
All right. Then we move to the 23rd. That's National Day of Prayer and Candlelight Vigil. Tell us about that. That's also plans of the one-year anniversary celebration.
Yes, indeed. That will be a real mega event. And this is being talked about not just in Grenada. This is being talked about internationally. And governments say, wow, this sounds like a really great idea. This is something that we should be doing. We need to invite God into our lives, into our governance, into what is happening in Grenada, break down the walls of division, break down the walls of separation, break down the walls of evil conduct in society. And so this is something that is receiving rave reviews. So I want to just share with you, I only just got the order of business this morning, so let me read from it here. It starts sort of at 5 p.m. Then you'd have the national anthem, and this will be led by the St. David's Carnival Queen representative, Ammonia Francis. You would then have invocation. This will be led by a Women's Arm representative, Ms. Beverly Howard. Then you'd have a worship team, praise and thanksgiving, This would be a combined team. And then we move later into the welcome and presentation of caretakers, MPs, etc. Then you have the greetings coming from all 15 caretaker candidates. There will be later on candle lighting. And then you have the entrance of the political leader and prime minister. He'll be called to the stage along with his colleagues. Then you'd have a prayer representative from the New Testament Church, and that'll be led by Pastor Patrick Nelson. And that would be for prayer of thanksgiving and repentance. Then you have another prayer from the representative from the National Democratic Congress, Senator David Andrew. This would be a prayer for government. Then you'd have another prayer coming from a representative from the Catholic Church. This would be led by Father Mark, and this would be dedicated to a prayer for the economy. Then you'd have a ministry in dance. This will be done by J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School Dance Group. Then you'd have prayer representatives from the Women's Arm. Ms. Cheryl Barnaby Bishop, she will share a petition for the nation's youth and families. Then there'll be a prayer representative from the Alliance of Evangelical Church. Then you'd have Reverend Joachim Phillip offering up a prayer against crime and violence and for safety. Then a prayer representative from the Pentecostal Assembly of the West Indies. Then you'd have Bishop Christopher Baker. He would offer church and spiritual leaders, all leaders at the event and nationally. Then you'd have ministry in spoken word, Aquino Romain and Camille John. There'll be special singing by Nicole Newton and the team. Then you'd have a representative from the NDC Youth Arm, Teresa Fortune, with Peace and Unity. All these special songs. Then you'd have a representative from Youth with a Mission, Nigel Mitchell, on healing and reconciliation. Then you have a representative from International Prayer Assemblies. This will be by, Then you also have Bishop Esther Batiste offering up a prayer against strongholds, witchcraft, etc. Exhortation charge, Bishop Dave King. So this are the main highlights of the event. Of course, there'll be lots of singers and musicians and special singing, etc., prayers. And this committee is really has done a lot of work, and they expect to put on quite a memorable event on Friday the 23rd. So it starts off at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it probably will go on till about 9:30 at the Lassages playing field. So the general public is invited to come on out and be part of this National Day of Prayer and Candlelight Vigil at Lassages playing field. Starts at 5 p.m.
All right.
Of course, special thanks to Abigail Ellis and the entire team who is, putting this planning together. So we thank them for their efforts.
All right. And I see the final that will close down the year of the 1 year anniversary celebration. We see coming up on the 25th of June, the NDC fundraiser bingo. Tell us a bit about that. There's been some concerns about it from, the public of the opposition forces have also spoken out about that. Tell us about that and the initiative or reason behind that particular fundraiser bingo.
Yeah, well, this fundraiser bingo, it's going to be at the National Stadium on Sunday the 25th. It starts off at 5 p.m. Tickets $60 for one, two for 100. You can also purchase tickets online through GoToFet and other mediums. Now, the idea of the fundraiser is very simple. It is in an effort to raise funds, and every political party strives to raise funds because there are ongoing expenses from 24/7. So this is indeed what it says. It's a fundraiser, and at the same time, there'll be lots of entertainment provided from 5 p.m. There'll be food, there'll be drink, as I said, entertainment, and you have an opportunity to win great prizes, vehicles, cash prizes, etc.
Okay.
And more importantly, an opportunity to bring together the nation, bring together everyone, irrespective as to what political persuasion you may, be from. But this is a moment of coming together. Similarly to the event at Lasages, this is about bringing people together for the National Day of Prayer and the Candlelight Vigil, a time of thanksgiving and giving praise and so forth. But so coming back to the bingo, yes, this will be a major event. The diaspora has been invited to participate. They can purchase tickets online, and they can feel as though they are basically in the stadium, because there'll be lots of activities going on and lots of opportunities to win great prizes there. So it's a fundraiser. Come out and assist the National Democratic Congress in meeting its financial needs. And this is our way of saying it's legitimate, it's legal, and come and give your support.
Mr. Terry, Mr. Forrester, there are a lot of commentary that have been made over social media pertaining to this particular bingo, and I understand the reasons you gave for having it. And some folks are saying that it could be that the party is encouraging gambling or negative activity. What's your take on that? Do you have a different perception about that? Of course, the commentators via social media and so forth making those comments.
Well, actually, these comments are unfounded, because bingo takes place more or less every month in Grenada. We all know that.
But maybe people are looking at it from a governmental point of view, probably.
No, from a governmental point of view, government has no objections with individuals having bingo session. Bingos, they continue year in, year out. There've never been any objections to anyone holding or participating, putting on bingo events. And the National Democratic Congress is obviously no different from any other organization in putting on a bingo or any sort of fundraising event. So I don't think what has been commented on needs any further clarification or explanation.
All right.
This is a fundraiser event, and political parties, some of them go into nefarious activities and raising funds. We are choosing to do something which is legal, which is above board, and will bring some benefit to some individuals. Right. And at the same time, a coming together of participation of individuals, embracing one another.
All right. We drew for a break, Mr. Forrester. Let's take it. We come back with more of our discussion this morning. Stay with us, folks. Here, it's To The Point for today, Wednesday, the 7th day of June. We're coming right back after the break.
Is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding Multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding Multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the Multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more, or free plays. With Multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more. With Multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
On Saturday, July 29, Montrouge Plainfield will be transformed into a sea of grills as food, fun, and friends collide. It's the 10th annual Maggie King of the Grill competition. The best chef and barbecue kings and queens compete for cash, a new grill, and the title of Maggie King of the Grill. Come savor the flavors. Try to bust the ice cold bar and let the kids have their way in the bouncing castles, pony rides, slides, and games. Try your hand at dominoes or the beer and leg competition and win instant cash. Come 7 p.m., you go stateside to enjoy performances from top local acts. It's a whole evening of fun at the Maggie King of the Grill, Saturday, July 29 at the Montrouge Plainfield. Gates open from 12 noon. $10 get you on the inside. Powered by Maggie, Hot 98, and GBN Television.
Yes, well, I say welcome back, listeners and viewers. Back to the point for today, Wednesday, the 7th day of June. Welcome back, Mr. Forrester. Welcome back this morning once again to the point. Mr. Forrester, I want to ask you this particular question. As a member of the NDC, what excites you about the plans for the NDC for the next 4 years?
Well, quite honestly, I think it's rather visionary. And it's the kind of plans that Grenada requires at this point in time. For example, the transformation of our road networks, the transformation of our water and sewage development plans, transformation of our agriculture sector, the transformation of our health sector, the transformation of our tourism sector. These are all sectors that are drivers of the economy. And if we can truly transform these sectors and provide the kind of opportunities for the Grenadian masses, I think Grenada has a great, great opportunity of being really, really recognized as a powerhouse in the region. We one day can be the Singapore of the Caribbean. And this is something with vision, with energy, with style, with honesty and integrity. I think that, Grenada can go a far way. Take, for example, the recent £16.356 million that were now granted to Grenada from the UK government, resulting from the loss of much more than that. Previously, by the previous administration, it must have taken quite a feat to encourage and to massage the UK government in saying to Grenada, okay, we shall give you back this grant. Although you have had it for over 7 years, you did nothing with it. And our policy position is that if you don't use it, you lose it. And this is precisely what happened to us in Grenada. Thankfully, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and his team were able to convince the SIF, the British Government Fund Department, that Grenada does in fact need this money to upgrade its water supply and sewage treatment plants. The South, which is developing, and other areas of Grenada which is in need of water, is something that is hinged on our overall national development agenda. If you don't have water, you don't have life. You don't have water, you don't have development. And this is critical to development. Also, the road network from St. George to St. Patrick and around Grenada. These are a network of roads that have been with us since Christopher Columbus was a little boy. And we need to therefore transform the transportation sector in Grenada in order to encourage real development. Because transportation is closely hinged to economic development. You want to be able to offer to the masses in Grenada an opportunity to leave Grenville and get into town within a matter of 15, 20 minutes. How do you do that? Well, you have to transform the road network. You have to provide the opportunities for quick and swift transport. And of course, that will be reliable. So someone out of Grenville can say, you know what, I'm coming into town and I'm going to spend 2-3 hours and I can be guaranteed that I will get transport to get back home. These are things that are extremely important for economic development. They are closely hinged to economic development. Take, for example, and I want to give you just a quick reference of Manhattan Island in the United States. Manhattan was always just a little piece of rock off the Brooklyn area. Once they built that Manhattan Bridge, Manhattan just mushroomed into a mega city with, so many, developments and investments taking place there. So transportation is key to economic development in any country. And the vision of this administration is to ensure that that is developed and that is enhanced, so that the Grenadian public can embrace this opportunity and look forward to serious transformational plans for the country. The health sector, that's another area which has been spoken about under 1 year, looking at a real proper facility to provide great health care, not just to Grenadians, but to also tie it into the tourism sector so that we can offer a product of health tourism for our visitors. So these are all part and parcel of the plans of development. And with the support of the Grenadian people and with the support of the entire team, I think Grenada has a great chance, a great opportunity to get going once again. We've been stuck for too long in the mud, and we need to get moving one more time.
All right. Now, we heard recent developments. Last evening, we heard a bit of information coming out from the Canadian authorities about Grenada not being on the list of countries that would not have the worry of having to get a visa to come to Canada. What's your take on Grenada not being on that list, or from the National Democratic Congress?
Well, my friend, Grenada was off the visa-free status to Canada for many years. And one of the reasons being, is simply because Grenada engaged through the CBI program at the time in basically ignoring the wishes of the international community by selling CBI passports to Russians and Belarus citizens. So this is something that was started under the previous administration. And naturally, that cause of concern to the Canadian government resulted in the fact that we did not get our visa-free status back into Canada. So I'm not surprised. The thing is, this is something that now has to be further negotiated by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and indeed our Prime Minister. And I'm sure that this is on his agenda to get going, because other countries recently have gotten the visa status ratified. And surely in due course, Grenada would also get its visa status, ratified into Canada. It's just a matter of time. Remember, it is just under 1 year. Everything can't be accomplished overnight. I know some people are thinking that this government has to do everything within 1 year. It is just not humanly possible. But I see great opportunities, great future, and the Canadian visa issue is going to be resolved very soon. I'm almost certain of that. And I'm almost certain, I don't know the facts, but I'm knowing this Prime Minister, I feel almost certain that he will embrace the opportunity while in Canada in July to this mega event being put on there on the 1st of July. I am sure that in his planning, there are plans probably to meet with the Canadian representatives so that Grenada can once again enjoy free visa status to enter Canada.
Right.
As I said, I don't know the details of his trip, but knowing the man as I do, I know that probably would be one of his, embracing opportunities when he visits Canada.
All right. When we started our conversation, we spoke a lot about some of the great achievements of the Deacon Mitchell-led administration for the last couple of months, which leads now to their 1 year celebration. Now, in the same breath, do you see any of the disappointments or something that you'd have liked to see accomplished in this 1 year that you think could have more emphasis could have put into in terms of in terms of the administration?
It's kind of difficult to say because so much has been done and so much is still being done. maybe if you had posed this question earlier on, probably.
I know you spoke a lot of the accomplishments, but I mean, I'm just like, yes, there hasn't been anything that you think.
I am really trying to figure out, some of the pitfalls and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But I really can't figure out any, except to say that maybe I don't know, probably harder work could have been put into regaining all the monies that were lost through the grant funding. We got back a significant portion of £16.356 million. And would have been nice for us to have gotten back the additional, how much is it? Maybe another £5 or £8 million. Probably it would be nice to get back that. But then again, to have gotten back almost 75% of what was lost from the previous administration, this in itself is a major accomplishment. But you always have to kick yourself in the foot and say, well, maybe if I had squeezed them a little bit here, a little bit there, and maybe negotiated harder, maybe I could have probably squeezed them into giving the 100% of what was lost back. But time is on our side. It is only just coming up to 1 year, and I'm sure there's the opportunity to go back to the SIF grant funding department in the UK, and if not request what was lost, but come up with other projects where we can obtain grant financing for upgrading and uplifting our country and our people.
All right. And there's still, I mean, as you said, it's a lot. It's pretty tight for you to figure out anything that more could have been done. But of course, you've been honest in terms of what you said. There's so much that has done. So somebody to think about the negative parts of things that you're disappointed, it could be pretty tough to distinguish right now. We're due for another break, Mr. Forrester. We're going to take it when we come back. We'll invite if there's any of the listeners or viewers or they have a question or two, you can call in and state that, and we take some more comments from you when we do come back. Let's take a break. We're coming right back.
Just before you go on the break, just to mention that when we come back, we want to talk about the Carriacou and Petit Martinique events to celebrate the first year in office.
All right,
and then we can.
I was going to ask you that question honestly because I didn't see anything in terms of the celebration in Carriacou. I saw a lot of emphasis was placed on the mainland. It's one of my questions, but didn't get to fit it in. Didn't get to fit it in. So when we do come back, stay with us, folks. We're coming right back.
The Ministry of Agriculture and its regional partners will feature all things coconut next week at the Grenada Trade Center. June 12th, opening ceremony and exhibition, day one only. Practical training sessions on tissue culture, new strategies on pest management, and site visits to spin-off coconut industries. Farmers, stakeholders, and business partners, be a part of the process in taking the industry forward. The Regional Coconut Training and Exhibition, June 12th to the 15th, 2023. For further information, contact the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives.
Records at the Traffic Department shows that a total of 1,440
Welcome back once again, listeners and viewers. It's to the point here. I'm Mr. Forrester. Welcome back once again. You did mention out that you want to speak a wee bit about some of the activities on the side of the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And we do have a lot of folks who are already holding online. I guess they do have a question or two they would like to ask, so you could be brief in terms of the activities inside of Carriacou. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, let me be brief on that. In Carriacou, there'll be 3 days of festive activities. The first one starts off on Sunday, 11th June. There'll be a church service at the Evangelical Church in Carriacou at 4 p.m. Then on Saturday, the 17th June, there'll be an event behind the Sands Long Wall from 12 o'clock. That's a major event. Will bring lots of supporters and the general public of Carriacou together to really have a fun event. Then on Friday, the 23rd, in front of the NDC party office, there'll be a massive coming together to celebrate the 1 year of transformation. So that's it for Carriacou. 3 major events. So the folks out in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, please join in those festive activities. with your parliamentary representative, the Honorable Tevin Andrews. So that's it for Carriacou.
Okay. We do have some callers, a caller or two online. Let's take our very first one. Sure they have a question or two they would like to ask. Caller, good morning.
Indeed, we do, Mr. Tellisford. Good morning, greetings, and greetings to your guests. Can I confirm that Mr. Tellis, what's his name again? Forrester, can hear me? Can you, Mr. Forrester?
Sure, yes.
Hallelujah. Now listen to this, Mr. Forrester. A while ago, you told the Grenadian people that it was the action of the so-called Prime Minister and his visit to the United Kingdom, where I reckon you meant that he spoke to Mr. Richie Sunak, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom or otherwise, and who knows if Charles Rex III, and they replaced the sum of money that was taken away for the water development program. I have a different view, sir. I can tell you this, that in the last quarter of 2022, the government of Grenada received correspondence from the appropriate agency in the United Kingdom to speak on the two matters. The first, the one related to the road project, was written off, yes, but the other one was on hold. He didn't have to rally for it. To prove that you are telling the truth to the people of this here country, Mr. Forrester, a thing that I'll put my neck on the block for. I request the following. One, publish the correspondence from the appropriate or adequate or the appropriate British agency. And if you find a one to add, and by the way, unabridged, without a change, not even a comma. And the other one is, if you find that one too much, look for the verb confirm, CONFIRN, in the correspondence and publish the paragraphs where this verb appears. In this way, you'll be setting the stage for me to shut my cut on the matter and to give the Grenadian people the truth of this incident. Have a nice day, will you?
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Mr. Rollo.
Any response, Mr. Forrester?
Let me take this quick opportunity to refer Mr. Rollo to a press release from the Ministry of Finance dated May 22nd, 2023. And I will read just the first paragraph or two for the edification of Mr. Rollo. And it states, the government of Grenada is pleased to confirm that the United Kingdom, through its Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, and the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, by letter dated May 16, 2023, has reconfirmed grant financing of £16,356,501 under the United Kingdom Caribbean Infrastructure Partnership Fund, UKCIF facility, for the implementation of the capital phase of the Southern St. George's Water Supply Extension Project. Brother Rollo, if you send me your WhatsApp number, I will be more than pleased to send you a copy of this press release from the Ministry of Finance dated May 22nd. I urge you, therefore, to reconsider your facts and to ensure that it comes with clarity and alacrity. Thank you very much.
All right. We do have another caller. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning.
I beg your pardon. I beg your indulgences. I am not talking about releases from the government's Ministry of Finance. I speak of the documents from the British entity. Last year in the last quarter. Don't confuse me, Mr. Gentleman. Have a nice day, will you?
All right.
Brother Rollo, as I said, I was just going to read the first paragraph or two. This goes on to a 2-page release from the Ministry of Finance, which I'm sure when you read through it, you would realize that it incorporates the concerns which you have just expressed, which has no validity, in my opinion.
All right. As we move on, 435-2041, 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning and thank you. No, I admire the Mr. Forrester and his, at least his advertisement to the announcement of those different features that they will be having on the celebrated time. And what I acknowledge and admire most is that they give heed to everyone's advice, which is most important, their prayer, and that is exaltation for the nation. So I applaud that and continue, because at least the voice of the people is the voice of God, and we all need to take heed to the voice of the people. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution there. Thank you so much. 445-2041. We're moving up. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Hello, morning.
Good morning to you, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Forrester.
Good morning.
Yeah, I admire very much, huh? But apparently you have no clue as to what you just read then, relative to what Mr. Rolo pointed out to you. Because what Mr. Rolo pointed out, basically, is confirmed by what you just read. The money was never lost. I mean, you all need to stop this kind of nonsense in this place. Mr. Forrester, I thought better of you. Honest to you. Take care.
Well,
thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution this morning.
Just to briefly state that if you once had something and it was taken away from you, that is considered that you have lost something. I think we need to be factual where the English language is concerned. If you once had something, you lost it, then you no longer have it. And if you regain it, it means that you have retrieved it, or efforts have been made in order to get it back.
All right. Another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Morning. Let me just move away. Yes. I have a question, and it's open. Anybody could call and give the input. Now, could a party member carry a diplomatic passport?
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Somebody within the party, like a PRO, he's not a member of government, he's just a member of the party. Could he or she carry a diplomatic passport to go about and do the personal business? That's just my question. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution.
Yes, indeed. As a matter of fact, any Grenadian citizen can be bestowed upon them a diplomatic passport, and you have varying ranges of diplomatic passports. But any citizen of Grenada can be bestowed a diplomatic passport, and certainly a member of the National Democratic Congress. It all depends on the portfolio and the work that they are charged with. It may necessitate a diplomatic passport to ease them and to facilitate the process of their accomplishments.
All right. Let's take another caller. Caller, good morning. Guess we lost that caller. 435-2041 as we move on through this morning. 10 minutes left before we wrap today's program. And feel free, if you do have a question or two, you can certainly call in and ask. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Not bad, sir. Go right ahead with your contribution.
Mr. Forrester, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I want to make a statement. Now, there is a thing going on in this place. It's a team. You have a set of fishes in the sea. It's fish in the sea. But you have one fish in the sea that don't associate with no fish whatsoever at all. They call it a porcupine. So I'm asking Mr. Forrester to be careful with all the activities that they're having. Because remember, the porcupine team is outside, and it is very dangerous, and nobody play with porcupine. Nobody play with porcupine, and the porcupine is serious. Try to avoid that porcupine system, because remember, from 1951, we had it a time, and then we come up the road, and when we reach to 1979, check what happened in 1979, the porcupine and the run. After that, 1989, the porcupine back on the road. Careful with that porcupine, it could damage the nation. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller. I'm not sure
Thank you
where
very
caller's
much.
going
Thank
with.
you very much, caller. But I believe that no weapons formed against this administration or anyone in Grenada shall prosper. We are celebrating God. We are celebrating what is right, what is proper for the nation, and no weapons formed against the people of Grenada, and indeed this country, shall prosper. In Jesus' name, I cry upon that.
Let's entertain another caller. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Telesphone, and good morning to Mr. Forrester.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is kind of difficult because one hand we talk in God, and the activities we plan is far from what God expects. especially that young lady from St. John. She's a young person, and she would obviously have influence on the youth. And what we are hearing, promoting on that activity is alcohol, which we know the effects of alcohol, not only on health, but on the social and the social behavior of our youth. So this is one thing I disagree with the promoting of alcohol. Mrs. Forrester specifically mentioned the names of the brands. Okay. Now, the activity that is to be held as quote-unquote the National Day of Prayer and whatever, I don't think what God was asking for or is asking for is a day of prayer and repentance. So if we pray and we repent, I don't see why we should go back to the place and having a bingo, which some people have called it about. Bingo is not godly. It is a way of robbing the populace because people paying this money and, 50,000 people might play bingo, to 1 or 2 persons get the money. So all the others are disadvantaged. Bingo is not something that should be encouraged, and I don't think the party should use a bingo to take money from the pocket of the needy because people believe they're going to win. So they take their money and they go to that bingo and they're losing everything. So we're not putting the populace at a financial advantage. I think that should be some other form of raising funds should be used and not gambling. Have a good day, sir. God bless you and thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution this morning.
Thank you for your contribution. With respect to the St. John's event, let me just say that we expect individuals, young and not so young, to be responsible and to be social drinkers at the event, and indeed to consider the fact that they're coming there to celebrate. And in the process of celebration, even God himself turned water into wine at the wedding when his mother asked him to assist with the shortage of wine. So it must be done in a responsible manner. And I think this will be the case in that particular upcoming event on the 16th of June. With respect to the candlelight and the Day of Prayer and candlelight vigil, this will be an opportunity of uplifting the nation in prayers.
I guess we lost Mr. Forrester there for some reason. I'm not sure of if there's a loss of connection from his end. And let's see if we could recuperate that. Let's take a short break and we'll be right back. Probably have a loss there in terms of connection. Let's take a break. We come back and see if we could regain connection with Mr. Forrester. Coming right back, folks. Stay with us.
Records at the traffic department shows that a total of 1,447 accidents were reported for the year 2012, which includes 3 road fatalities. 2,946 accidents were reported for the year 2022, which includes 8 road fatalities. This is a significant increase of 104%. This is alarming. When a family tragically loses a loved one, does it matter whether by means of a gun or a motor vehicle? To avoid accidents, drivers and pedestrians alike must exercise extreme caution when using the road.
On Saturday, July 29, Montrouge Plainfield will be transformed into a sea of grills as food, fun, and friends collide. It's the 10th annual Maggie King of the Grill competition. The best chef and barbecue kings and queens compete for cash, a new grill, and the title of Maggie King of the Grill. Come savor the flavors. Try to bust the ice cold bar and let the kids have their way in the bouncing castles, pony rides, slides, and games. Try your hand at dominoes or the beer and leg competition and win instant cash. Come 7 p.m. you go stateside to enjoy performances from top local acts. It's a whole evening of fun at the Maggie King of the Grill, Saturday, July 29 at the Montrouge Plainfield. Gates open from 12 noon. $10 gets you on the inside. Powered by Maggie, Hot 98, and GBN Television.
It's Classic Radio, GBN TV. It's to the point. Hey, folks, that's what we're going to have to take a wrap for today's program. Our apology, we have lost connection with Mr. Forrester for some reason or the other, so couldn't get that closing comment from him this morning. So that's what we're going to have to take a wrap for that. Well, apology for that. So once again, join us again it'll be tomorrow. Tomorrow being a holiday, right? So maybe back next time we'll see you back. Will be most likely be on Friday. We have another edition of To the Point for you. So once again, I want to thank all who contributed some way to with us via phone calls. You sat home, you listened. You commented via the Facebook page. Good. Thank you so much for your comments. And once again, everyone have yourself a great day. And thanks for being part of To The Point for today. That's why I say goodbye. Be good to yourself and others. All the best, folks, and goodbye.